welcome back to Seraphine TV. We are here once again. I promised you in the previous video that my guest here is an expert, and I will allow her to introduce herself, who she is and what she does. Then we'll pick from there.
Thank you. So I'm Jacqueline Kinoti, a transformational life coach, an emotional freedom technique practitioner, a psychologist, and a neuroplasticity practitioner. So I help people to address early childhood traumas, to heal early childhood traumas and emotional wounds, so that they can gain mental wellness and they can reclaim their authentic self. In emotional freedom technique is whereby we use a tapping solution so that we can relieve the stresses that we have, we can relieve the pains that we have. And when I say about neuroplasticity practitioner is whereby people can be able to rewire their mind. We are taught that the way you are born, we can't change it, but studies have shown that we can rewire our brains, we can change, we can transform, so long as we put in the work to do that, so long as we do what is required to rewire our brain. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
You've had her introduction is so wide. She's so informed, so experienced, and we are privileged to have you here.
Thank you.
And so to our audience, you know we always bring you just the best. Seraphine TV, you subscribe to only the best, and you are working so tirelessly to make sure we bring you what just you need. And mental health, you know, is one of the major, you know,
the major issue in the worldwide.
In the worldwide, yes.
Yeah.
So yes, today we'll be talking about childhood traumas and how it impacts our life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So join this conversation, and I know you like this. Please subscribe if you haven't. Join us. Like this video, show us love, and also feel free to comment. Tell us any question if you have, any reaction. Do you have anything you want us to talk about? Feel free. I will be happy. So yes, join us, and hope you'll enjoy this video.
Thank you. And so we are going to talk about early childhood traumas to understand what are they, how do they impact all aspects of our lives. And so when we say about early childhood traumas, are those adverse childhood experiences that a child goes through that are so overwhelming and they don't know how to cope with unless they have a support from maybe a caregiver, maybe from an adult who is in that place. And some of these early childhood trauma include abuse. There are various types of abuse. Maybe you can say about maybe a child is molested, maybe a child is raped, maybe they are touched inappropriate. There is the physical abuse, that is where you cane your child, that is where you beat your child. You know, there are those people that who wake up and beat their children even for not that big reason, even maybe without explanation on the side of the story of the child. You know, our tradition shows us that a child is to be seen and not to be heard, but it is not supposed to be like that. That child requires to be heard. That child requires to be listened to. And so there is also emotional abuse. Emotional abuse is where you invalidate the feelings of your child. A child comes to you and tells you, "Mommy, I was bullied in school," and you tell them that can't happen. That is not happening. You tell them, maybe, "Mommy, someone hurt me," and they tell their children, "You're pretending." And so they,
or even siblings to siblings.
Yeah, even siblings says, maybe they comes and tell you, "Mommy, my sister did this to me," and because you don't want to have that picture that we are not together, that there is not that dysfunction in this family, then you tell that child, "You have to behave like this."
In fact, a common scenario,
Yeah.
sorry to cut you, we did a video with some guy about boy masculinity.
Yeah.
And I remember he mentioned siblings where parents, you suppress the feelings, emotions of boy child.
Yeah.
Because you are the siblings and the sister hurts the boy. But the boy is told to keep calm, and
You are the man.
You are a man.
Yeah.
And you know there are both of them are children.
Yeah.
So like that was saying, they cause his heart.
Yeah.
You invalidate his emotion, and instead even suppress him more,
Yeah.
and give the girl more room
to suppress him more. And so when this experiences this abuse, when a child is exposed to domestic violence, where you maybe every time mom and dad are fighting, you learn when they are fighting, this mother in that home is not going away, is not seeking for help, is not saying this is what I'm passing through. And what does they teach those children in that family? It is okay to tolerate abuse. It is okay for a man to beat a woman because this mother is being beaten and they are not coming out. This father is being beaten and they are not speaking out, because as a man you have to stay strong. You don't want to speak about even men are being abused in there is the violence, domestic violence.
But the other day
about
there was
men.
just a clip going viral of a man being hit literally by the wife, and it was in public. In fact, some business premise. Actually, the daughter was giggling about it.
Yeah. So these things happen, and we have to talk about them because people are acting in silence. People, I don't know, they don't want to speak out because they are feeling. Suppose I say I'm acting as a man, what will society say? I'm supposed to be the stronger one. But we should not continue faking it is okay. We need to come out and address those things that are happening.
To feel bad as a man, like men also hurt.
And that is why men die so fast. Men die at a young age because they are taught to suppress. And now when you suppress those emotions, when you suppress those pains, they eat you up on inside. That is why you see someone has high blood pressure, maybe someone is becoming diabetic. All those things impact on the inside when you're not able to talk. In fact, when someone is not able to express themselves, they usually have throat issues because they are not able to express themselves. They keep having throat issues. Those people who keep on taking care of others, you'll see them having most of the skin condition. You're treating a skin condition is not ending. Check how you're relating.
No,
you are giving too much.
That's a new one.
You're giving too much, but you're not getting any. You have forgotten yourself. You have forgotten your special.
So it reflects on your skin.
Every part of the body. This childhood trauma impacts all aspects of life. It impacts the way the brain development happens. These experiences that this child is going through are the ones that determines the kind of brain connection to be formed, which influences how the brain development happens. And so when someone has passed through traumatic experiences, they impact the brain development. And so that when a child is exposed to so much, maybe domestic violence, maybe a child is living with a parent who is mentally ill, maybe a child is living with a parent who is an alcoholic. No, when you live with those kind of parents, sometimes maybe they go and drink and they forget themselves. And therefore, as a child, you have to take the role of a parent to take care of those other siblings. And therefore, you are denied a chance to become a child. Because you become a parent.
Taking on adult role.
Yeah, there are those parents who want the children to take care of them. Like maybe someone has been left with their spouse or they have divorced. You want your child to be there to take that position of that spouse that went. In fact, the child becomes the parent to the parent. Yeah, so those things impact greatly. And now those experiences that when you go through as a child, they impact us. The way you have shown like that child that will learn to take care of other people, like I have to be there, I have to behave, like that parent that who is so over controlling, that parent that you have to be like, you can't, this home can't have a musician, you have to do to pursue engineering, you have to pursue law, but I'm not interested in law. As tradition, even the way the parents put it, they want, when a parent has unprocessed trauma, they pass it to their children. It becomes generational.
So this becomes a cycle.
It becomes a cycle from generation, because you have unprocessed trauma, you pass it to your child, you treat them the way you are treated. Until someone now breaks this pattern, it becomes like hereditary. It passes from generation to generation until one person in the family has to be courageous enough to break these patterns. that is what changes. And so when all these things happened, when that parent is over controlling, you get a B, they want you to get an A, they don't want to appreciate that. You must.
They don't see that effort.
Yeah.
Little efforts you make.
They don't see, and therefore we learn, that child will learn not to appreciate themselves. They learn to push themselves so hard that those people, even though they have achieved whatever kind of things they have achieved, they'll keep on pushing themselves. They don't want to appreciate. They never get
and
satisfied.
Imagine if that's your boss.
Yeah, imagine. So they'll keep on stressing you. They'll bring those issues. They want you to work beyond what is impossible so that they can. It's like when you have these unprocessed pain, there is those void, there is that emptiness, and now people seek external things to fill. Like you see someone who has this unprocessed pain, they go into addiction. There are those people who will get into drug and substance abuse. There are those people who get into sex addiction. There are those people who get into eating disorders. People are becoming
just to deal with the void,
to deal with that pain. Because when they have these addictive behaviors, at least they feel good. When you see someone who is drunk, they operate like they feel in another level. Yeah. But when maybe that alcohol comes down, they go back to that misery. And therefore, when people keep on depending on this addiction, in fact, even those people who go to rehabilitation centers, unless they address underlying issues, they will get most of the people are addressing the symptoms. The symptoms here is maybe prostitution. The symptoms here, maybe it is the alcoholism, the addiction. Yeah, no, when they don't address the underlying issues, it's like you're cutting a branch of a tree, and you're expecting that tree to dry, but the roots are still there.
Does that explain why people they're taken to these rehabs and they come out even worse?
They go back,
or after a while, they go back to the same thing.
And so when they have not addressed these underlying issues, and if they have not gone to heal these wounds, you see someone who has come out of that rehab, they will get another addiction that is socially acceptable to the society. Maybe going to the gym, maybe they'll go to church, they be more into religion, they will do something that now is an addictive behavior, but which is socially acceptable to the society. Now, until they address the root causes.
It's good you just mentioned religion.
Yeah.
You know, like many families, many people are suffering these traumas, but we tend to hide in church.
Yeah.
Am I using the right word? Is it hiding or
like we know people need to understand, if you have to become a whole being, you have to heal holistically. And when you have to heal holistically, you have to take care of the spirit. That is where the church will come in. You have to take care of the body. The body needs good nutrition, it needs some exercise. You need to take care of the mind. The mind needs to be in a stable position. You need to know what you're feeding your mind. And so many people are just taking care of the spirit. They are feeding the spirit, but they're not taking care of the body. But you can't be whole unless you include all the others. Unless you include the body, unless you include the mind, unless you include the spirit. And so when we have to be whole, we have to include all these other parts. We have to nurture our spirit part. We have to nurture our mental part. We have to nurture our body part. You know, early childhood trauma impacts across all aspects of life. Health, physical health, mental health, spiritual health, financial health. You know, when I'm talking about financial health, when you're being brought up in that family that tells you that they keep saying, you know, when you're brought up, you're programmed through the verbal conditioning. What you hear people talking about, they say maybe someone they maybe went to the city and they have just come with a lot of money. They have this new car and they start saying, this could not be. They must have been doing something illegal so that they can get this kind of money.
Wealth, yeah.
The parent tells you, I'm giving you this, maybe 100 bob and go and do that. And make sure you are not getting this money from the trees. You're not plucking them from. And this child get programmed that getting money is very hard. Someone who is rich is someone who is evil. And that's why you see those people, maybe they have those kind of jobs, they have those kind of businesses, they have a lot of money, but they do nothing. They are not doing any kind of investment, they are not doing any kind of development because of the programming. If I do this, something I will be seeing as evil, because that is how I'm being told. Those people are rich, are evil.
You've had someone becomes rich, wealthy,
Yeah.
then you are Illuminati.
Yeah, unless people challenge these self-limiting beliefs. This, the way you are being programmed to believe that someone to be rich has to be doing something illegal, has to be in some cult. So those things that are keeping people in bondage, are keeping people in prison. You have been programmed that you go to school and come and seek for a job. When you get a job, you'll be better.
If you don't have a job, even if you do business, you are seeking for a job. You're looking for a job.
You don't want to stay in that job, that business, because you're programmed to seek for a job, to get employed. And that is why you're seeing many youth are staying in employment. I usually say it's all about mindset. When people change, like, I'm supposed to get employed, I'm supposed to be that, then things will start turning around. People start embracing maybe getting a job. Doing businesses. And you see, even in marriage, there are those kind of families that maybe you see a spouse complaining of other spouse. I've been doing business for this person, but it can't stay.
He's making an effort. Yeah.
It is.
Like, it's not business for you. They can't. Yeah.
Because this person has a mentality that I have to be employed. They are not programmed to be business oriented unless they challenge those beliefs.
So all those things started from?
It starts from the foundation, the way a person is being programmed. That is what matters. Unless people reprogram and unless people rewire the brain, then they can start seeing changes. Even in marriages, there are those issues that they have a lot of issues. The marriages have a lot of problems. But some people, there are those people who are going to fake it so that we can stay where we can bring up these children. But those children don't require the breast parent. They want healthy parent who love them, healthy parent who care for them.
There's something you mentioned of a controlling parent.
Yeah.
How do we differentiate from caring and controlling? What are the limits?
When a controlling parent will not allow you to be yourself, will not allow you to pursue what you want.
But you're told you're just a child and you don't know what you're supposed to do. So the parents are telling you what to do.
There are those limits, but they need to nurture this, what the child wants. Okay. Like, I want to pursue music. Don't force me to do law. I'm not interested in law. And that is why you see many people pursue that kind of career, but they go to school and they bring the papers. They tell them, I brought what you wanted. Now let me go and do what I want. And so that is why you see many depression cases in maybe in colleges, maybe in universities, because you are forced to do a certain course that you didn't want. And so you reach at a point you don't know, even you can't understand, and so it becomes so overwhelming. You're not enjoying. And that is why, and parents, they want to be called, my son is an engineer.
They want titles.
They want titles. They want to be somewhere, to be associated.
Standards.
Yeah, to stand up. But do they care about this child? I usually say the parent isn't always right.
So you think this curriculum, I think this current curriculum, then it's really favoring a child? Do you think so? I
usually say if a child wants to pursue, is good in something, nurture that. Don't tell them, stop doing this end. You're teaching them to be not true to themselves. You're teaching them to be inauthentic, because you don't want them to pursue you don't want them to be the way they want or the way they are supposed to be.
So in the essence, we need to keep trying. We give options so that we see which one they would like, because at an early stage you may not outright choose.
But what the child wants, they can nurture. They can. You see, there are those people maybe they are good in music, but they are going to pursue maybe engineering or maybe medicine, but they still go and come back to this career because that is where they feel alive. That is where they feel fulfilled. And so we nurture that. no, not specifically wanting them to do that. Though even going to school is very important, because even it opens you, it gives you understanding. You're not going to school just to get employed. You get so much to learn in school.
Now, when you talk of controlling parents,
Yeah.
I think a challenge would be many I've encountered with the youth. They always say they really want to be themselves. Some even get the aggressive enough
Yeah.
to speak out, to
Yeah.
tell their parents what they want. But parents will either call them rebellious, they will ignore them,
Yeah.
or they will not finance what they want to do.
Oh yeah.
And then now this makes them look like bad persons,
yeah.
and you know, at the end of the day, some are really struggling, just like you're saying, with mental health, to balance, strike a balance. Like, is it respecting your parent? Are you disrespecting for being honest?
You know, when as a child, this is the person that is supposed to nurture you, supposed to take care of you, but you are not. If you go against that person who is going to take care of you, you have to do something so that you can fit. You have to fake. You have to do what the parent requires you, because you have no one else.
So yeah, my challenge is, for how long? I know if you're listening to this, I don't know if you're following. For how long are you supposed to fake this? And we are saying, for your mental wellness, for your mental health, you need to be the authentic self of you. Is you have to be you. But now you have a challenge of pleasing. Actually, is it?
Yeah,
you impress your parent, or you choose you.
Now we need to choose us. When the mental pain becomes so much, we can't cope, and that is why there are those people who won't reach a point to choose themselves. When these things becomes overwhelming, that is when depression
like
comes
your
in.
own case, you chose yourself.
I chose to show up for myself, because I knew if I won't do that, no one else will do that. No one else will understand. Perhaps even they are not understanding about this mental mental pain. Sorry, mental pain I'm talking about. Even they are not aware until people gain self-awareness. When a parent has unprocessed trauma, they will impact their children negatively, because they won't allow a child to express things that they were not able to express. If this child starts doing something that maybe is threatening the parent, or maybe raw, so they tend to suppress it.
And their image.
Yeah, the image.
So much of how it looks.
So they want to keep you following what they want you to do. They want whatever they didn't achieve, they want you to achieve. They want you to be the little them. The little them. They want you to be, there are those parents who want their child to be their replica. Like, you have to do this. I achieved this. Why are you not achieving it? I went and pursued. Why can't you do that? Like, you're not allowing that child to be a child. You're not allowing that child to be a unique individual. You are the parent, but this child is a unique individual. You need to let them be unique, not to pass to do things that you are not able to do. Yeah.
So you also mentioned traumas are caused in different ways, different factors.
Yeah.
So if you have a parent who was mentally challenged,
Yeah.
and you're just a kid, I don't know how far will that go?
No, when now you have this kind of traumas, when maybe you have experienced traumatic experiences, there are different ways that a child learns to cope. And one way is the narcissism. I've heard people talking about narcissistic.
I think it's overrated.
It is overrated. I usually say,
even just in discipline cases, people are just not working out, and then he's a narcissist.
He is a narcissist. He is a what? So they are misusing the word.
And we just make them comfortable by saying they can't heal, it can't be changed.
Yeah. And so these ways that a child learns to cope is through narcissism. Narcissism is where maybe a parent is over controlling. You can't be allowed to be. Now, as a child, you learn, oh, maybe this is how you and what are supposed to be. This is how people are supposed to be controlled. Or someone will also experience the same kind where a parent is over controlling and they vow, no one will control me again.
Oh, yeah.
I have to be in control.
They can be opposite of that.
Yeah. So you see, now this is where you are seeing those people who are they don't care about other people's feelings, because the parent didn't care. That is how they are taught. They are programmed that that person has
nothing bothers them. They've learned to fight for themselves.
Yeah, and now that is where you see those people can't narcissistic people. But I usually say narcissistic people can get help so long as someone is willing to change, so long as someone is feeling
It has to come from within.
yeah, for someone to change.
True.
Unless that person is willing, that person takes a decision, make a decision to change. But I usually say it's because of these traumatic experiences that someone becomes narcissistic, but I don't give an excuse for someone to keep hurting others because of what they have passed through. If you see yourself, maybe you are doing such kind of things, reverse it. What could have influenced me to be like that? And rest it. Don't keep hurting. We say when you have not healed, you keep hurting those people that never hurt you. Your parents hurt you.
Victims of circumstance.
Yeah, your parents hurt you, but you're hurting your spouse. Your spouse is not the problem.
So unfair.
No, yeah, you are venting out the pain because now you couldn't face the parent because it was a higher
Find
figure.
a weaker one.
The weaker one. That is why you see maybe in marriages, maybe your husband goes and maybe the boss talks, they quarrel them, they come to the wife or the children. And so you wonder, what is wrong? What have I done wrong? And that's how we address these issues. Another way a child can be able to, how they cope is through codependency. A codependency is where maybe, as you say, maybe a parent is an alcoholic. They have neglected them, and therefore this child takes the role of a parent. They will take that role. They will take care of their siblings. They will take maybe the parent went and drank and they slept there. They will try to take care of them. So they learn to take care of other people. They learn to give, to take care, and they forget themselves. Those are kind of people who remain. They will give. They will take, hoping now even finding an excuse for that person. Maybe those people are married. You want to take care of a person, but they keep hurting you. You are hoping they are going to change someday, because when someone becomes codependent, they feel good taking, because that is how they felt
they
good.
Feel like they're entitled.
Yeah, that they felt alive. They felt that void that is filled when they take care, until it becomes too much. They can't take it anymore. That is where now you're seeing those cases of mental breakdown.
Yeah, of recent, the past recent. There's been so many cases of GBV and the killings, especially the marriages,
the police force. When maybe we can talk about the police force. When someone has passed through these traumatic experiences, and therefore, as a police, when an accident happens, you're the first person to be called to the scene.
So much.
Those scenes of crime, they're traumatizing. And then those even training, the hardship that someone goes through. We are human beings. We reach our limit. We reach our breaking point. And that is why you see maybe when they come to the house, maybe a spouse will forget maybe to put salt in food, or maybe forget something, a minor thing, but they become triggered. Why is someone treating me like? It is not the spouse who is wrong.
It's not even about the soul.
It is about the triggers. And so you see people shooting each other because they don't know how to process that pain. Unless we address this, even in the police force, unless they are taught or they are trained on how to handle this, they are trained to address the root causes. Because when you have not addressed this unprocessed pain, when you have not addressed these suppressed emotions, you get triggered. Something will happen that
just like a balloon, a little prick, and
people break down, people shoot each other, people commit suicide.
Is it does this apply to the banning of schools?
The banning
or
of
this is a different thing, all the same?
I think even it has contributed. We know nowadays the parent says that I've paid your school fees, I've paid all the bills,
and there's no visiting.
The food is there. What else do you want? But that child wants someone to hear them, to tell them they love. Do you even hug your kid? Do you even cuddle them?
So what the CS Interior and the Ministry of Education boss was saying, they bring back the corporal punishment.
I think
may not impact much on what's happening.
I think beating someone doesn't change anything. It
You think
inflicts
so?
it inflicts more pain. So let us give an example, maybe in a marriage setup.
Yes.
When maybe you have a disagreement with your spouse, when they come and beat you, are you going to stay there? They want to punish you by beating. Are you going to stay there?
That's a new journey of the same that I've started. That's
You're
a new
going to
conflict.
report them.
Report, or you may fight back.
You may fight back.
The reactions will diverse anyway.
In that marriage setup, you want to be heard, not to be shouted at. You want to have to sit down and have a conversation.
Honestly, you're an adult.
What makes the difference that you have to beat this child so that they can listen to you? They need to be heard. They need to be listened to.
So you think all this, they're just reacting, they're seeking, is it attention seeking? Are they so much suppressed that they want to be heard?
They want, when you see a child has a certain behavior, they are speaking, they want to seek attention. In fact, there are some studies I was reading about. You know, those people who are maybe in prison, who are in rehabilitation centers, they passed through most traumatic experiences. There was a case I was reading. A child was so much into stealing, but because at home no one notices them. Like, my parent doesn't notice I'm here. They don't notice I'm passing through this. So what am I going to do? I'm going to see so that I can seek attention. I need help, but how can I seek help? How can I seek attention? Because
so someone gets you to crime just to get your attention.
So that they can be heard, they can be seen. Someone want to be seen. Someone to be. They need to feel that you're important. They are valued, they are needed. But what happens when, yes, you are providing everything for your child, but you are not there? There is no one to share with. Perhaps this child is being bullied in school. The parent is not there, and you say you are providing everything. And what else do you want?
The changes of
they don't know how.
hormones.
They don't know how to handle it. They need someone who can talk to them, someone who can walk with them and show them. And I usually say providing finances and all that is not the issue, but providing caring, loving and nurturing relationship, that is what is very important for the brain development, for the emotional stability of the child. And so as a society, we need to go back to the foundation. I don't think beating a child is the solution, because we say the body remembers that pain. That is why you hear people, someone will wake up and they start feeling like tension, they start feeling a kind of pain.
Asking if they're saying that the current generation, the boys, the girls are banning schools because of the new punishment and the new system. Then how about the old people? What they used to do? Those who are killing each other used to be beaten in schools.
They don't, now when you inflict that pain, they don't know how to express it. And that is why, some people, they say they end up a childhood. They are okay. They were beaten, they have turned okay. But do they have anger issues? Do they have relationship struggles? Do they have addiction problems?
In fact, I'm sorry to say, even worse.
Yeah, and so when you say the beating made you okay, then you are supposed to be not having anger issues. You're not supposed to be having high pressure issues. You're not supposed to have diabetic issues. These issues, high blood pressure, then diabetes, these chronic illnesses that you are seeing, it is a result of these unprocessed pains. And therefore, you can't say beating will make these children turn okay. A child requires a parent to come and sit down and ask, Mommy, how are you doing? What is affecting you? What is happening?
Which institution offers parenting as a course?
But there are those professions that maybe that teaches about
teaching,
it. Yeah, but I don't know.
Yes.
They train people about that. But when you have healed these emotional wounds, you become your authentic self. You heal. You understand. This is how it's supposed to be. So you become healed. And that is why you can tell those people, even those who are not married, they heal fast. They address those emotional wounds fast so that they can able to attract a healthy relationship. Because when you have these unresolved traumas, that those people who have relationship struggles, You see a person moving from one relationship to
to
another.
another.
You
And,
see,
and the struggle is the same.
and they don't
Like
care.
they
There are
get
those
involved
people
with the same
even
people, same character.
yeah, the same character. Or for example, maybe when the mother was so controlling to the boy child, because now this boy child is very young and they can't respond back to the parent who is the support system,
Yeah.
and is the one who is abusing. Those kind of people who are condomanizers. They'll keep hurting. They don't care. They keep hurting these women. They'll move from one woman to another because they were not able to vent out the pain
And
to
you
them.
find the parent now asking, I never brought you up this way.
Yeah.
But me, your dad was never this type.
Yeah.
Our relationship, you never seen this. Where did you learn it from?
You are bewitched. You are bewitched.
You bewitched your own son.
Yeah. So unless people address that, for
And
example,
the way we say humanizing is a choice.
no, it is not a choice. But I don't give an excuse for someone someone else's behavior, like humanizing like that. If you understand, I have this is not normal. This
It's
is
your responsibility.
Trauma might have happened to you, but it is your responsibility to heal. It is your responsibility to seek
I think
help.
I like that.
Yeah. So we can't keep on blaming. I say that we can't blame a person for what is going through. You are going through. You're giving them power to take control of you. If you don't, you keep blaming it's my parent too, has made me go to say my sister, it's my boss, it is my husband. Then you're saying I have no power to change. Yeah, it is my
ex.
Yes, unless now
they're fighting everyone along their life, fighting their ex.
Yeah, so unless people heal from all this, unless I usually tell people, even those who have maybe they have come from a relationship, even marriage, that those people who are going from one marriage, it is not working, you go to another, address that. You know that those people maybe they fear to stay alone because maybe there is that emotional neglect that happened. Maybe the parent was never there to provide emotional support, and therefore you want someone. In fact, those people maybe who are neglected, who are abused, who are rejected, they'll seek to that mother figure in either in their spouses or in their friends, but their friends will get tired because I can't be your mother. I can't
keep mothering you.
I can't keep mothering you, and so they get tired and you break down. And that is why you see even in some other areas that maybe someone they will cringe into a relationship. It is not working. They have told them it is not working, but they don't want
they
to
even
move.
ask you how to go about it. You give your opinion.
And
they go back and
they tell you, if you leave me, I'm going to commit suicide, because there is that part of void, that emptiness that this person is providing.
By the way, makes one a slave.
Yeah.
You imagine they love you too much.
Yeah.
But they want to die for you.
Yeah, but it is not
It's
that
a
case.
weakness.
It is
a
that
condition.
void. It is that emptiness that I can't stay alone. I have to be someone else. That is why you see.
So it's not out of love.
It is not
out
of.
It is that.
It is that programming. It is that the void that has not been filled. That emptiness that I have to be with someone else so that I can feel good. I have to fit in a certain class so that I can fit in the society. So unless now, even though we seek these external things, I usually say inner transformation is an inside job. You take care of inside. If you want massive transformation on the external world, do it on the inside. Take care of it of inside. I know facing is like opening a wound. It is painful. But it is good. We feel the pain when we are cleaning that wound and we get here. Instead of keeping covering it, it will keep affecting us. Some people will say maybe seeking help is expensive, but how much is it costing you remaining in the same situation? Yeah, it is costing you. Maybe you've gone to hospital, you have this kind of pain, there is nothing being diagnosed. I tell people, address their childhood trauma.
Because you'll just be lucky if also you live with it healthy. At some moment you lose it completely, and now getting back to your normal self will never happen.
When you address the early childhood trauma, those unresolved trauma, you regain your authentic self. your true self, who is not afraid what are people going to say. And so we have seen, even though we have passed through this traumatic experience, it doesn't mean our fate is fixed. It doesn't mean our life is doomed. We can't change. We can change.
There is hope.
There is hope. We can heal. We can transform so long as we purpose to do that. And there are those professionals in that field that can help you do that.
Like yourself.
Like I do coach people on that area. That when you coach something, there are those proven strategies that will help you. We want to unlearn this habit. We want to rerun. We want to heal. We want to transform. And therefore, when you want to transform, you have to change the habit. You can't expect to get different results doing the same thing that you are used to do. You have to change the habit. And that is where you can change habit. You can rewire your brain. The wiring of the brain is how you change, you form new connection, new brain connection. It's like someone maybe who was using maybe the right hand, and then it breaks down, and then they use the left hand. It becomes able to do the way the right hand used to do, because they have been, the new neurons have been created, the new pathways to facilitate that function is happening. And so people can heal, people can, when you see yourself having anger issues, when you see yourself having these relationship struggles, when you see yourself maybe the marriage is not working as you're expecting, maybe in that workplace there are a lot of pressures and you feel there is no progress, you feel like someone is not, they're manipulating you, you have no healthy boundaries. Like if someone wants you to do something, you are available. If they want you to go there, even though you are ashamed, you feel guilty. You can't say no. When you feel you're at that point, then seek help. I do coach about that so that people can address that, so that people can reclaim their authentic self, so that people can reclaim their personal power back. You reclaim your power. I can do this. I don't care what people are saying about it. I believe in me. You start believing in me. You start changing your thought. You challenge the self-limiting beliefs, because the beliefs that we have, they influence our thinking, and our thinking influence how we carry out our day-to-day activities. And so we need to challenge these beliefs that are keeping us in bondage, these beliefs that are keeping us in prison. Like we are in prison of our life. We don't know how to come about it because of these traditions that we have to follow, of these beliefs that we have to follow. And so we can heal from that.
Wow, yeah. I can't even listen. I can't have enough of you.
Yeah.
That's so privileged. You're so honored. You accepted to come and share with our audience.
Yeah.
Guys, this is just awesome. This is one of the videos. I know you take your time to go through this. You've learned something. You've grown, and personally, this is so much, and I appreciate. So, guys, Jacqueline Kinoti has a lot, just like you've seen, and they can inviting you more, more. Please write to us. What do you want her to address? What do you love us to talk about? Write to us and tell us which area do you want us to talk about some more. So we'll be here just for you, working hard and getting you just the best from out here. And for now, to you, we are ending this. We hope to see you again soon. Until next time,
thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you.